Thomas is joining from Rwanda. Tim is joining from Abuja. Where is everyone joining from? Thomas is joining from Abuja. Any other person? The others, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to me. Okay, Perpetua is joining from UK. So we start in exactly 3 minutes, but I just like to know everyone and know the people I'm speaking to today. Okay, Yinka is from Lagos. Because I know some people, I know where they're joining from. So Ayo, where are you joining from? Ayo is joining from UK. How about Adedayo? Where are you joining from? And we have more people. I'm having a very cold audience. I'm just checking the chat to see if other people are putting where they're joining from. Olayemi, you just joined us. Where are you joining us from today? Hi, Yinka. Hi, Olayemi. Where are you guys joining from today? Or ladies, where are you ladies or guys joining from today? You can put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself to do a quick introduction. I mean, everyone is looking to get into tech, so you should be used to just talking in a big meeting or in a small meeting. Hi, Blessing. Where are you joining from today? How's everyone doing? You can just put in the chat or you can unmute yourself. I have a lot of these expensive things, material things, status symbols. Hi, Blessing. Are you trying to say something? Your choice. This is something that I was told by. Yeah, I think our mic is just muted. Hi, where are you joining from? Biloba. Hi, where are you joining from today? You can put it in the chat. Blessing is joining from UK. Olayemi is joining from Manchester. Okay, amazing. Is there any other person that wants to tell us where they are joining from before we go into it? I hope we're excited.
Hello, my name is Eunice. I'm joining from Nigeria.
Hi, Eunice. Nice to meet you. Shay is joining from London. Okay. We have quite a number of people joining from the UK today. Okay, so I think we're at time now. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Anyone? Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, you
Yes,
can
I can see your screen.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
No, you don't have to. You don't even have to always.
Okay. Please don't forget to mute your mics when you join the meeting so that we don't distract other people as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're talking about how to transition into tech. We're also going to be talking about generally what all these roles, what they mean, and where to find them. There's a lot we are going to cover today. So I hope you grab your notepad, grab your pen, and take notes because I'm generally a note taker. I love to take notes. So it's just a way to learn, basically. Okay, I can see some people already know on the call. So hi Mobo, hi Oge, hi Awa. Thank you guys for joining today. Can you introduce yourselves? Mobo, Oge. I think Awa is still going to talk later, so it's fine. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay. They want to be in the back burner. They don't want to speak. Anyway, you can always introduce yourself in the chat. Okay, so let's just go into it. I believe that anyone that is here today, okay, thanks for confirming, Thomas. Anyone that is here today is possibly looking for a change, or you're probably doing something that you don't like, or you're just here to take knowledge or find new information. So there are different people that are here today. You might be feeling, okay, so August says she can't talk when she is. Okay, that's fine. Um, so you might be feeling stuck in a job that you're doing at the moment. It doesn't excite you. You don't want to turn up there. Or you might just be here because you want to get yourself a remote job. I know that there's a lot of demand for remote workers. It's very popular now, and everyone is trying to get into the space. Okay, so you might be dreaming of a high earning career. You don't want the stress that comes with maybe jumping buses or jumping trains and trying to get to work, and you're just looking for a way out. Okay, or you might also be dealing with like self-doubt, or you're just trying to see, like, is this really possible? Is this something that is achievable? Can I really do it? You know, we all have thoughts like that. A lot of people deal with imposter syndrome. They have all the knowledge, they've already got what they want, but they still feel like it is not possible. So these are the kind of people that might be on the call today. And you might be thinking, if it's possible, I just want to tell you that yes, it's possible. A lot of people have done it. That's just the truth. I'm always on the side of the positive people. You would never find me on the negative side. There are so many people that I aspire to be, and I believe that I can do it as long as I am taking the steps that will take me there. That is the difference. So many people want to be somewhere, but they are not taking actionable steps that will take them there. So every day, I am taking those steps. I am writing my goals. I am writing my task a day before. These are the things that I'm doing. And these things that I'm doing is going to add up together to lead me to where I want to be. So that is what we need to do. If you don't take action, I want to break it out that if you don't take action towards your goals, you might never ever achieve those goals. That's just the honest truth. So if you are ready to take action, you're ready to take the next step, then let's get into it basically. So what is Innovate Paths Consulting Limited? Who are we? Some of you found us through LinkedIn, you found us through Instagram, or you possibly just in the community where we just like to share free resources and just things that help you. Literally, if you're in the community and you're not even paying for any boot camp, and you are literally taking the steps and following some of the things that we put there, you can actually help yourself and change your life basically. So we are a training company. We also offer consulting services, and the goal is to help you to transition into tech. I know that so many people feel that it's saturated. Is it possible? Can I actually do it? Is it actually possible? I see people saying it every day. So we are a training company that would literally support you as much as possible. For me, I always see it as a 50-50 thing because I'm not going to come to your house to tell you to do the things that you need to do, right? I believe it's a 50-50 thing. You bring your effort, your time, and then we bring the knowledge, the tools, the methodologies, the techniques, the experience that you need, the support that you need. We bring it on the table, and then you bring your side of the bargain as well. And if we combine it together, then it becomes whole, and it becomes fulfilling for you and even for us, because guess what? You getting a job is also a success story for ourselves as well. So we understand that the tech space is ever evolving. There's demand for these people, but you need to know where to find it, and you need to have the right support helping you to navigate will I call it the very rocky, very rocky space that is the tech market. It's very, very rocky. It's very demanding. There's demand for you, but you need to use the right strategy to actually get it. So we are fully registered to do what we're doing in the UK, and you can literally go to Company House and check. So we are not just starting out and just doing it because we want to do it. We are fully registered in the UK. So just a brief introduction into myself. I really don't like to drill down into myself, but just a brief introduction for people that are meeting me for the first time. My name is Ibiemi, and like so many people on the call, you're probably a mother, you're probably a wife. I'm also that, but I know that we also have men here. So respect to the men as well, fathers, husbands. So just years back, I was on this type of call, this exact type of call, and someone was on the other side as well, telling me all the amazing things that I needed to hear because I was really, really stuck. I was thinking of the next thing to do. And like everyone on this call, I was seeing this thing everywhere, but I just wanted to connect to the right person. I wanted to make sure that I'm doing this with a place that it is the right place because you have to connect to the person. If you don't connect to the person, you're just going to feel like you are inside a big ocean and you don't know where to navigate to. So I found that person, and literally on that call, I decided to take the step, and I went through the process, burnt the candle, brought my A game, doing everything that they asked us to do, and I was able to transition into business analysis. And now I am doing the same for other people as well. I'm helping them to navigate the space that feels very confusing and bringing the light for them at the end of the tunnel, basically. So if, like I say, it's a 50-50 thing, you bring your side of the bargain, I bring my side of the bargain, and together we achieve a goal that you have set for yourself. Okay, so there's probably so many people here. You're probably doing healthcare, you're stuck, you're packing shift, you just doing things that you don't want to do. You know, we've all been there and we've been able to navigate that space to the glory of God. You know, so I've been able to work on several projects. I've been able to support so many projects because even before I started helping people with my own brand, I was doing it with other brands, learning the ropes, doing it, supporting students. And when I say supporting students, I'm talking over 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 students. So these are things that I did for years before I said, you know what, it's time to build my boat. And I decided to start doing that. Okay, so without wasting time there, I don't know if there's anyone on this call that feels stuck in their career. Can you just put it in the chat? Are you feeling stuck in what you're doing? Do you feel like, oh, it's another morning, I have to go to this place? Do you feel like you're trapped in a job that has no growth, no fulfillment? And are you tired of doing what you are doing at the moment? Can you put it in the chat? I can see Perpetua, she's like, yeah, I'm the one. Can I see more people? Okay, Biloba said that's me. And we're here to learn together, you know, if you eventually come into my space, you would think I'm the one that has the problem. I know there are some people on the call that can testify to it. I would carry your problem on my head more than you're carrying it on your head. That's just the truth. So if you're ready for someone that will bug you and make you tired, like, are you the one that is looking for a job? If you're looking for that person, then that's me. So do I have any other person that is stuck in what they are doing? Are you stuck in what you're doing at the moment and you're tired? Literally, you might be an accountant. And accountants, they earn very well. Even here in the UK, they earn very well. It's just that sometimes you need to combine accounting with analytics. That is just the secret sauce. You can actually start out as an accountant and be successful, but if you migrated to the UK, it might be difficult to climb up the ladder. You might have to do all these exams and all that. And do you know why I'm saying that? Because I tried to do it. Because when I moved to the UK, I had very good understanding in accounting because I used to do that before. So I thought, okay, let me go into accounting. Then I found that I have to write like 15 exams. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. You know, so what I've realized is that for you to succeed in the finance area in the UK, you have to combine analytics. You know, you might be in customer service, you're tired of taking phone calls. You might be in healthcare. I know there's a lot of healthcare workers and you are burnt out. you are burnt out. So do I have any other person? So Omatayo says, I started a program in cybersecurity. I want to learn how to get into the role. Amazing. Do I have any other person that is stuck? Or do I have people that are good where they are? They just need more push. Like you earn well, you feel like you're successful enough, but you just need a bit more. You need a bit more push in what you're doing. Do I have anybody like that? Put it in the chat. Let's engage with ourselves. This is a give and take session. There's a lot that I have for us today. Blessing says she needs push. Okay, so it's time for a change, and let's talk about some of the things that can help you to change. Okay, so before I go into some of the things that we'll be talking about, just a quick intro into the things that we offer. We offer project management and business analysis. Okay, and that's always our bestseller. I have a project management team and I do the business analysis, and I also have other people that support me as well. I have Mobile on the call. Mobile supports me in the business analysis. He used to be a student of mine. Well, he's still my clients and my students, but now he's giving back to people as well, and he supports other people to become business analysts as well. Okay. And we also have data analysis training as well. We teach you Power BI, SQL, Excel, and Python. We also have remote workshop where we teach you how to craft a proposal, how to get paid remotely, or everything that you need to land a remote job. And that is facilitated by another trainer, because obviously I always tell myself, I'm not practicing. I don't live in Nigeria or live in Botswana or live in South Africa. I don't live in these countries. So I'm not doing that remote job that they are looking for. So how about you bring in someone that is skilled, and that person is doing that person is performing and is there to give back, teach you how to use Upwork, Fiverr, all of the tools that you need to land a remote job. So we have a remote workshop coming up for 2 days. It's going to be 3 hours on the first day and 3 hours on the second day. We also offer advanced Excel and PowerPoint, and we offer other services as well. Okay. So if you have any questions as I go on, please just put it in the chat and I'll pick it up. So why should you transition into tech in 2025? Obviously, it's global. Like project management, business analysis, and data analysis are really sought after. I know that sometimes it feels like it is out of reach, it's not possible. But trust me when I say what you need to do is to fine-tune your skills. I find that so many people say they want to transition into tech, but trust me when I say they don't do their parts. They think it's just a walk in the park. If you think about going to university for 4 years, why do you think you spend time in the university for 4 whole years? And then you think you want to do something for 3 months and it's just going to be easy. And it's not going to be easy, because there needs to be a lot of mindset changing. There needs to be a lot of you bending yourself so hard for you to achieve your goals. So if you know that you are that person that is willing to put in the time, the effort required to actually transition into these roles, then you are in the right place. Okay, so the roles, if you see, there are over 4.5 million job openings, and that's as at the time that I put this slide together. I'm sure if we check it now, it is way more than it is. So it is never going to stop. The demand is going to be increasing, is never going to reduce. So there is no better time for you to jump into tech than now. There's no better time than now. Now is the time to act. Okay, so obviously, tech jobs offer visa sponsorship opportunities and relocation opportunities. Definitely, this is not just going to be something you will just do 1 or 2 times and you expect is going to happen. The consistency is what helps us to succeed as human beings. We need to be consistent. And obviously, it helps us to work remotely. Like, I work predominantly remotely, and that gives me the flexibility to do other things that I need to do for my own life as well. So I'm also a student. After this class, I'm also joining a class. So I'm also learning. I'm always paying for one thing or the other, as long as it's helping me to improve myself. because I'm passing knowledge to people and I need to keep upskilling myself as well. So that's what remote work gives you. It gives you that flexibility to become anything else that you want to become. So believe me when I say that the best time to move into tech is now. Okay, and obviously, like I said, that tech jobs would allow you to actually get visa sponsorship jobs. But I know that it's not just going to be a walk in the park. It's not just going to be something you do in 5 minutes and then it happens. It's something that you're going to keep hitting hard. When I say hitting hard, you're pushing applications daily. You are refining your CV, refining your LinkedIn, and you are not tired. That is the only way to achieve your goals. Okay, so this is just a website where a lot of companies put their job opportunities. So I know a lot of us are used to, you're used to LinkedIn, you are used to Indeed, or maybe, what's the other one? CV Library, there's a lot of them. So we are used to those popular ones, Glassdoor and the likes, but you might need to re-strategize and also check other job boards that would also allow you an opportunity to land the job that you really, really, really want. Okay, so this is just one of many other job boards that you can actually bookmark and keep checking. Now, the thing with the UK visa jobs website is that they post mostly visa sponsorship jobs. Okay, so and employers actually put their jobs on the website. Okay, but I think you need to subscribe if you need to join the website. Okay, so now, what is the mistakes that a lot of us are making? Or what are the mistakes, rather, that a lot of us are making when we are trying to get remote jobs? And this doesn't apply to only people that are outside of maybe UK, Canada, and US. It applies to a lot of people because you can literally be in UK and working in Canada. I've done it before. I'm living in UK and I'm working in Canada. So that is what we call freelancing, right? So there's a lot of mistakes that a lot of us are making when we're trying to get remote jobs. Now, if you live in the UK, the CV you would use to apply for your home country jobs, or if you live in Nigeria, or you live in Ghana, you live in Rwanda, I know someone said he was joining from Rwanda. If you live in those countries, the CV you would use to apply in that country is not the same CV that you would use to apply for this remote job companies. Okay, so there are necessary keywords that you need to add to your CV. Because if you remember that this is 2025, recruiters do not have the time to review your CV, and that's just the truth. So you see a job ad, you see this job ad, right? And there are over 1,000 people that apply for the roles. Recruiters are not going to start checking them one by one. So that is where they use AI, okay, to review the CVs and to make sure they are getting the right person. So we too, we also have to, you have to make sure that you are beating them in their game. Okay, so if you look at LinkedIn sometimes and you're applying for a job, if you use LinkedIn Premium, it will tell you you have maybe X amount of skills to get this job. You don't have all of the skills. Okay, so AI is what even LinkedIn, okay, because I myself have used LinkedIn to recruit for jobs before. And the way it works is it helps me to disqualify people even before they get to me. So it will help me to reduce the people I don't want. And sometimes AI will remove the people that I want, but it's just AI. So recruiters will set it up in a way that it already removes some people. So you have to beat the system. Okay, we have to make sure that we are beating the system using the keywords that will help us to optimize our CV for remote jobs. Okay, now the second thing that a lot of us are doing is that we're ignoring personal branding. I know that so many people tell me, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. You don't have to do videos every day like the way I do videos. You don't have to do videos. You can be on LinkedIn and build a personal brand without showing your face. It only means that if you're looking for a remote job in 2025, you need to have an outstanding portfolio. And the portfolio needs to sell you as a person, as a professional. You have to have a LinkedIn profile, okay? I have to break the news to us, but yes, you have to have a LinkedIn profile, that stands out. Because many times, if I have an interview, I would go to the person's profile to see the person. Does this person fit into what I want? That is just the truth. So you have to have a LinkedIn profile. You can't be invisible. Many people don't even have a display picture on their profile on LinkedIn. So we have to change that. You have to build your personal brand. You don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to be selling a service. You don't have to be selling a product. You are selling yourself as a professional. So this is 2025. You have to build a personal brand for yourself. Okay, now the third mistake that a lot of people are making is that they don't know, okay, they don't know where to find remote jobs. Now, there are a lot of remote job websites that you can use, but there are so many places that are so hidden. Even in a Slack channel, you can find a remote job. There are some Facebook groups that you can find a remote job. So not just going to Indeed, going to LinkedIn every time. Everybody is going there. If you want to succeed, you have to be the 1%. You have to be the 1%. You have to be that person that stands out from every other person. Okay, so make sure that if you're looking for a remote job, you're filtering out every time, because guess what? You are looking for a remote job. All right, and you have to package yourself as well. That is so important. Make sure you package yourself. We don't call it lie, we call it packaging. So make sure you sell yourself very well, that it is irresistible. Okay, so these are just some of the sites that you can find remote jobs. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Now, there's no way you can say you're looking for a remote job and you don't have an ability to pitch yourself, right? You don't have the ability to. Sorry, I need to mute someone. Person is muted. I think it's Onye. Onye, can you mute yourself, please? So you don't have the ability to, pitch, write cover letters, write personal statements, write proposals. These are things that you need to do to stand out. Don't just send your CV and just send one thing and then that's it. It is a would we call it a race or a marathon now? But until you get that one, congratulations. Even if you get 200 unfortunately, it doesn't matter, because everyone has been there. Everyone has been there. Unfortunately, you even get tired. In fact, some job boards, you just apply right now. You apply right now, it's not even up to 5 minutes. They're already sending you, unfortunately. Like, have you even reviewed? Have you looked at my application that you're sending, unfortunately? Can anyone relate to that? Can you put it in the chat? If you can relate to that, like literally I apply now and calm down. There's already unfortunately in my inbox. Can anybody relate to that? Can I see some emojis? Can I see some emojis, or I can relate? I can relate. I can relate. Can I see it in the chat? So the truth is that these are things that have happened to everybody that you see today, that they are doing well. Many people. I was watching someone's video that I know very well, and she's doing extraordinarily well with her business and everything. And she posted how she had truckload of unfortunatelies in her email before the final one. So we've all been there, but the consistency. Okay, if you see one, unfortunately, you send 50 applications. That is it. Sometimes you send the ones that you take your time to do, and other times you send the one that you just push out. Like just push out, just push it out, push it out, push it out, like 100, 200. Don't get tired. But then there are some that you focus your time and effort. You sit down. Sometimes it will take you 3 hours to apply for a job that you really, really desire. So don't get tired. If you see unfortunately, just push it one side and aggressively apply for more. That is the way to win. Okay, so write proposals, personalize the proposal. Like I said, know the ones that you really want and know the ones that you're just doing trial and error, and bulk load them and send out the applications. But those ones that you want, write that proposal. write the name of the company, the name. In fact, you can even put their logo. You can even go the extra mile and put their logo on your proposal. Show that you understand their needs. That is the best way to win someone. You have to show me that you understand my problem and you are the solution to my problem. Like so many people on this call, I understand their problem because I have been there. I have worn the shoe. I've had to transition painfully whilst raising a family, whilst doing my normal duties as a wife, and whilst still going to work, because you can't live in the UK and not go to work and say you're transitioning into tech. You have to still have your job, pay your bills, but eyes on the prize, right? So I've worn those shoes and I know what it looks like. So then I know that I have the solution to their problems as long as they are willing to put the time and effort, because that is really, really key for us to achieve the success that they desire. Okay, so make sure you keep it concise, short, clear, and focused. Okay, any relevant experience, put it there. Relevant skills, put links. You can't tell me you are looking for a data analyst job, and in a week you are not working on data. You are not building dashboards. You are not using SQL to query data. You have to be doing something, because those things that you are doing are the links that you're going to put in your proposal. So you are telling a recruiter why the recruiter should jump on you and employ you, and I can't even see the links to any job that you're doing. Okay, I'm already sharing some of the insights that we will share on the remote job workshop, and there's still more. So you need to use the strategy that would help you to land a remote job if you're looking for a remote job. Now, so obviously cold email strategies as well. That is something that we should never, never get tired of doing. Send those emails. Yes, send those emails. And don't get tired. Personalize the email. Hi, put the person's first name. Put the details. Put everything. I saw you're looking for blah, 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 blah. I just want you to know I'm the person you're looking for. This is the reason why I'm the person. You have to make me want to continue reading what you're saying. If you don't just go to ChatGPT and copy something and paste it, I would know if it's AI. As soon as I read whatever you send to me and it's AI, I would know. So that's why I tell people, whilst it's perfect to use AI, I'm always preaching AI. You have to make it human. You have to now sit down. It helps you to start, but you now need to sit down and personalize it so that the person that is reading it is a human being. Don't forget. And the person knows when he's reading a human being's proposal and when he's reading a perfectly written AI proposal. So let's use AI strategically. Use it to start, definitely use it to start, but go back and sit down, spend time. Many of us don't want to spend time. Many of us, that's the problem. We don't want to spend time. We just want to get over this thing and think we are going to land a job on our table. Boom. Please, we need to spend time. Time, 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 time. Okay, so craft email strategies, identify leading recruiters and reach out to them. And also make sure you're crafting an ATS compliant CV. Okay, that is very important. For those that don't know ATS is the software that will scan your CV or your application when you push it out. Okay, so let's carry on. I hope it is making sense. Can I see in the chat? If it's not making sense, can quickly change my strategy. If it's making sense, let me know. Am I saying what we want to hear or I'm not saying what we want to hear? Is it making sense? Can I see in the chat making sense or not making sense? So I won't take it personal. I'll just change my strategy. Can I see more? If it's just two people, that means I should stop. Sorry, give me a moment. Okay. So they're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I can make do with that. All right, so what is a portfolio? I know that so many of us read this, and I know that so many of us might be in the UK. I remember when we were doing the introductions, there were quite a number of us in the UK. Do we know that you can be living in the UK and be freelancing? You might have a job, you might have a full-time job, and if you like money, you can literally be freelancing. So this remote job that we are covering at the moment is not just for people that are outside of the UK or US or as the case may be, it's for every one of us. Okay, so you need to have a strong portfolio, especially if you are looking to become a data analyst. I would say that data analysts are the people that need a strong portfolio because it's a kind of career that you can't you can package yourself, but it will be obvious because they're going to give you things to work with for real. You know, with project management, business analysis, we can still package you and tell you what to say. But with data analysts, you have to know what you're doing. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to be a data analyst for you to be able to show that you've got what they need. Okay, so let's not get tired. Okay, if you are building a portfolio, it is your professional briefcase, literally. Projects, case studies, even as a business analyst, you could have things that you have done, business requirement documents, process flow diagrams, things that would show the person that is reading it that you got what it takes, right, to do the job. So it's not just a CV, it is a proof that you can deliver the results that they want. So somebody says, do you need to have a website to build a portfolio? Now, you don't need to have a website. There are a lot of non-coding sites, okay, that you can use. And a lot of that will be obviously shared on the 8th, is it 17th and 18th of April when we have the remote job workshop. Because guess what? Like I always say, I am not living outside of the UK to practice landing a job from maybe somewhere like Nigeria or Ghana. So that's why the person that is coming is someone that has done this over and over and helped people to do it. So you are learning from someone that has done this. I know there's a lot of non-coding website that you can do within 5 minutes, and it will, you'll be able to add your portfolio items. So you don't just put it on Google Drive. Some people will send their portfolio and it's on Google Drive. No, this is 2025. People are having beautifully designed portfolio on proper sites. So you don't need to pay for a website. You can use a free non-coding website to do it. Okay, so why is a portfolio crucial? It's crucial because, first of all, this is 2025. Everybody's advancing, and you yourself, you also need to advance. It also helps you to build credibility. It shows that you can do what you said you can do. You're not just fluffing, you're not just writing something down. You are showing that, yes, I've done process flow diagrams, I've done Figma wireframes, I've done balsamic wireframes, I've done these things before. I've got what it takes to do the job. Okay, so most people, and I hope none of us on this call is doing that, but most people, they want a remote job. But the truth is that they don't have the skills. So you are jumping to do the application to get a remote job, and unfortunately it's hitting you left, right, and center because you don't have the skills. So you have to gain the skills. There's no way you can overpackage yourself. If you lie that you're a project manager and you've never done it before, you've not done a boot camp, you don't have the skills, you only know textbook definitions, it will catch you out. I'm telling you, that's just the truth. But if you pass through the experience and you've navigated the process, it is going to make a lot of difference for you. Okay, because right now, so many jobs, so many people that are going for interviews now, they are being asked to do presentations, they are being asked to do something in PowerPoint and come and show. They're not just telling you to come and do it for doing sake. They want to see through you and they want to confirm that you can do exactly what you said you can do. Okay, so these are just some of the things that you can add in your portfolio. You can add case studies, you can add project deliverables, depending on the role that you're doing. If you're a BA, you can add, some of your stories, workflows, stakeholder analysis, just to show that you can do it. And project managers, you can add things like risk registers, communication plans. You can take them through a journey, a project management journey from start to finish. And if you're a data analyst, you can add, dashboards, SQL queries, results, a lot of things, showing how a data was rough and how you use your skills as a data analyst to, tell a story with the data. So you might also be able to do some demo. You can record yourself. Literally, only you can just be alone and go to Zoom and share your screen. You're just the only one there, and you'll be doing something and you'll be talking. It's just a demo. You record what you're doing, and you can add it as a portfolio. So these are things that you can do and add in your portfolio, because so many people are ahead. So you have to make sure that they are not leaving you behind. Okay, so you can also add some things that you do, like in a boot camp. Okay, some output of what you've done in a boot camp. You can also add it in your portfolio. Make sure that anything you're adding, though, you are anonymizing the data. Make sure you always anonymize your data, because that way you're telling the recruiter that you understand data protection. So please don't just say, oh, I did this, I did that, and then you're putting company figures and putting things that they are like red flag. That means you don't understand data protection. So make sure that you're checking that out. And any kind of testimonial from maybe past colleagues, people you've had to work with, or maybe your mentors, maybe your line manager, anything that can help you to set yourself apart. Okay, so definitely, like I said, you have a lot of theoretical knowledge. It might not always help you. You might have read textbooks, you might have done courses. Like I share a lot of courses on Coursera. If you're my community, it might not be Coursera, it might be even on YouTube, on Udemy, on any site. As long as I think that is a low ticket course or is a free course, and I just want you to benefit. Because what I found is that if you don't continually learn, even for me, if we don't continually learn, we are going to forget. So learning is an ongoing thing. And if you read stories of people that are successful today, they kept on learning and learning and learning. So whatever you find yourself doing, you have to do it well. You have to do it so well, so diligently, that you'd be able to stand anywhere, because when you speak, it shows that there's some work that you've done, in the background. Anyone that reads well and keeps sharpening their skills, and someone that does not sharpen. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I got kicked out. That's strange. I got kicked out of my own meeting. Okay. I hope can anyone hear me and see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's
Yeah.
strange. That
Hey,
has not happened before. Anyway, where was
can hear you.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
can hear you.
Amazing. I was like, what happened there? Anyway, I'm back. So what was I saying? So I think I was saying, if you keep sharpening your skills, you keep getting better. Yes. So just moving on, if you also join a boot camp, maybe you learn project management, business analysis, data analysis, you would also get work references. So if you do a training with us, definitely we would give you work references just to show that yes, you actually work with us. And you'll also be able to get work experience that you can put on your CV as well. So literally helping you. But sometimes I don't really like to, like, oh, this is it, because so many people feel like all they need to do is just to pay for the boot camp, start the boot camp, don't put an effort, don't turn up for meetings, don't do everything they ask you to do, and they're going to get a job. Can I break the news, please? That if you don't put in the work, it is going to be really difficult. And that is a fact. You need to put in the work. That's why literally we would make sure that you are putting in your 100%. But then it gets to a point that we will chase you and chase you and chase you and get tired of chasing you. That's just the truth. So you need to be ready. You need to know that, God, I need to do this. Because even God will bless what you are doing and you are doing it well. Heaven helps those who help themselves, basically. So we have to make sure that we are putting in the time, putting in the effort, and then God will just, crown our efforts as well. So just moving on to, I just wanted to talk quickly about the remote workshop that we have. It's coming up on the 17th and the 18th of April. And trust me when I say I've just scratched 10% of what you can learn. Because don't forget that I'm not practicing. So I've just scratched the surface. So if you know that you want to land a remote job, then you need to join the workshop. You need to know how to create proposals. You need to know how to use LinkedIn to get a remote job. You want to know how to use Upwork, Fiverr. I'm also going to be there because I want to learn more. I want to keep learning, and I want to learn from someone that is doing it, So I made sure that I got the best, not just a random person. No, I made sure that I got the best. Okay. So, and when he told me a story about how they sacked him, he lives in Nigeria. They sacked him from his job years back. And he was like, wow, where do I start from? And then landing on remote job and knowing how to crack it and doing it for years, helping people. That sack letter was like a blessing because earning in Nigeria, you're earning like dollars, you know what it's like. So you learn how to send, how to do portfolio building and all of those things, how to make sure you're not falling for scam. There's a lot of scam on remote job sites nowadays. So you need to make sure that you know how to make sure you're not falling into the wrong hands. And maybe you've tried YouTube videos and you still feel stuck. Some people, no matter what you teach, if you're not holding their hand, they will not know how to do it. I don't know, is there anybody like that on the call? We just know that even if you tell me from now till tomorrow, I need someone to hold my hand and help me. Is there anybody like that on this call? Because me, I have mentors. You have to learn from someone that is that is ahead of you. That's the only way to actually succeed in life. Sometimes you get tired of just looking at textbooks, looking at YouTube videos. You are just like, okay, where do I start from? So that's how I feel sometimes when I want to achieve the next level for myself. I have to find someone. That is just the truth. I will find that person. If I have to stalk them on Instagram and comment on every of their posts, I will keep doing it. If I have to send them DMs until I get that person, because guess what? The person is ahead of me. Especially in this content creation, I had to find someone because I was like, how do I crack content creation? And I had to find coaches. Okay, so shout out to Mimi OJ. I don't know if anybody knows Mimi OJ, but shout out to Mimi OJ. So we have to find people that are ahead of us to help us. That's just the truth. So I can see that people are attesting to that. And that's why I told the person that is doing the remote workshop that, you know what, it is a workshop, it's not a place where you are just coming to reach things to people. No, it's a hands-on training. And that's why it's 3 hours on the first day and 3 hours on the second day. So it's hands-on. Okay, so remote work is real and the money is real. That is just the truth. I know people working in Nigeria, they're even earning more than people living in the UK sometimes, So it is real and the money is real, but your strategy might be wrong. And that's why you need to join. Okay, so I'm sure the link to that is already in the chat. If you want to join, it's actually a very low, very, very low ticket cost. Very, very low ticket. It's very affordable. But the value you would gain is way more than you can imagine. So if you want to freelance, if you want to get yourself a remote job, then you can click the link in the chat. And you can also just probably make a direct transfer. Like the early bird discount for that is just 30,000 naira. It's so affordable. I literally just want to help people with that. That's just why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because of the money, because I know that a lot of people in my community want to get remote jobs and I'm not practicing it. And that's why I'm doing it. So I made it so cheap Because I know that when you tell people it's free, they would not attend. And even if they attend, they will not take it seriously. So you have to part way with something. And that's why it's so affordable. So I'm sure account will put, I say account, admin will put the account number in the chat. You can transfer the 30,000 and send your evidence if you want to do it. Okay, so let's go into, we're going to go into project management and business analysis in a bit. So literally, I've already said it before. The only way to achieve is to take action. That is the truth. That's the only way I take action. I've had to pay huge amounts of pounds to learn something, and that's the only way to take action, you know. And so many people believe that when people are telling them things that they need to do, they just saying it. But I'm not that type of person. I literally just want to help people, you know, to actually know that these things are possible. Okay, so I think I've been able to say much about the remote job, and that's for anyone that is interested in doing that. Okay, so where do I find the remote jobs? Okay, where do you find the remote jobs? These are some of the job boards that you can find remote jobs. Okay, I don't know if Awa is here. I'm gonna need Awa soon. So at Awa, I don't know if you are here. If you're here, you can just put in the chat. Okay, so these are some of the job boards that you can find remote jobs. And this is just to remind us, it's not indeed every time LinkedIn, all those job boards that we're used to. Sometimes you need to try another option. Okay, and believe that it's possible. If your mindset thinks that it's not possible, then it's not going to be possible. So I want all of us to first change our mindset. That is the first step. Change your mindset and say, I can do it. And once you change your mindset, then you will do it. Okay. So obviously, LinkedIn is still a very good place for remote jobs, even for landing project roles, BA roles. I literally get messages from recruiters every time. Oh, we're looking for this, we're looking for that, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. So LinkedIn is still a very good place, okay, to actually land yourself a remote job or a tech job. So please don't look down on LinkedIn. It's still a very, very good place. Indeed is another good place. We have CW jobs. We have a lot of them that you can use to land yourself a job. And remember when I said previously that the effort and time you put into it is what is going to set you apart. So please, let's get ready to put in the time and the efforts. Okay, so when I say strategic job application, I mean change the way you're applying. Make sure your CV fits that particular job. Make sure you're also going directly to company websites. I know it's harder to do. Sometimes it's just easy to go on LinkedIn and type business analyst or type project manager. It seems like the easiest thing to do, but sometimes it might not be the most efficient thing to actually do. So if you want to stand out from the crowd, you want to be the 1%, okay, in a very demanding space, you know that it is so, the tech market is evolving, is nice, is everything, but it is very, very, very rocky. So sometimes you have to do things differently for you to achieve your goals as well. And you can also build relationships, you know, build relationships with people. If you have an interview in a company, reach out to people that are working there. For me, I always believe that the only thing you can tell me is no. You cannot come to my house to beat me or to do anything. Do you get what I mean? Like, or the highest thing you can do is to block me. Maybe you think I'm not supposed to go into your DM, but I'm gonna try. So if I have an interview in maybe Sainsbury, for example, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, and if it's for a project manager role, I'm going to put project manager and put Sainsbury, and I'm going to look for you and I'm going to send you a message and say, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I've got an interview coming up maybe next week. I just wanted you to share any insights that is relevant for me. And I've told people, a lot of people, these things, and it actually works. Some people even get an opportunity to get on a call with these people. So it makes a lot of difference. So let's make sure that we're strategically applying and looking for these jobs if we want to land them in 2025. Okay, so these are just some other companies. Remember I said that sometimes relying on Indeed in all those job boards might not be the most efficient way to actually land yourself a job. Okay, so these are just some of the companies that you can actually check by construction, by FMCGs, by professional services, by energy industry. These things are not far-fetched. Anytime I put something together and I share it with my community, it actually takes me time to get these things. And this is the time that people don't want to put in. So it actually takes time. But I know that for us to be a 1%, because I want us to be sharing success stories in the community. I know some people send me direct messages on the community, say, oh, thank you for sharing this. Oh, there was one lady, I think she messaged me for civil service. Thank you for sharing the job, this thing. I got the job. I was like, oh, really? So people are actually using the things that we share on the community. I know that so many people are not even using it. They're just seeing it and saving for later, saving for later. They're not taking action on them. So let's take action, let's use the resources, and let's spend time as well in using these resources. It's going to really help us. Okay, so, and these are some of the roles that we can land in tech. Like a business analyst role, for example, might mean two different things. Operations might say operations analyst, but you're going to be doing the role of a business analyst. So you have to make sure that you are checking the job description, and that's what will tell you if what they are looking for is a business analyst skills, or if the techniques that it might just say a different name. Okay, so these are just examples of some of the monies, or will I call it the salaries, that you can get if you work in tech. And this was populated a while ago. I'm sure it might have updated. If you know that you're not strong enough to go straight into senior roles, you can start with £30,000. It's still a decent amount. £35,000, £40,000. Don't when you know where you are, everyone knows what they've been able to achieve with themselves. So if you know genuinely, I don't think I can go for six-figure roles. You can start from a smaller amount, and then you keep improving yourself, and then you get there one day. So there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for you to actually get a tech role if you start within your capacity. Please, let's always remember that so many people are applying for contract roles, £500 per day, but when you speak to them, like if I speak to you, I would know that maybe not, maybe yes, but go and try. So let's know our buzzwords. Let's know the necessary things that the recruiters want to hear from us. Okay, so again, I know there's so many people that require visa sponsorship jobs. I know that is a difficult phase for so many people to go through. But again, the more you keep trying, the more you keep at it being consistent, then you'll be able to achieve it. So the UK has a website where they have the list of licensed workers, okay, that can actually sponsor you to work in tech if the salary they'll be paying you meets the threshold. So how about you go to the website, get the list, look at the companies, go to their careers website, see if they've got an opportunity for you, and apply, and don't be tired. Okay, that's the very important thing that we should always remember. Okay, so we're going into project management and business analysis now. And I just wanted Awa to share her journey quickly with us. Awa, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Awa. So Awa joined, I think it was August. I think it was August last year, isn't it? So
July.
Awa, was it July? Yeah. So I joined the project management and business analysis training. And to be frank, I think it's even more than 10. She has kept on referring people to us. So shout out to Awa. We really appreciate everything that you do for us. And she's also, part of the support team as well, helping people, giving back to people what she's been able to learn. So when she told me she got a job I think it was last month or so, I was like, wow, that's the one I've been waiting for. That's the person I've been waiting for to get a job, because she really did put her time and her effort. So let's hear from Awa herself. So I'm not speaking for her. Awa, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so much, Iviemi, for this opportunity. First of all, I won't start my story without explaining what happened in the past. I actually did some trainings before, and at the end of the training, I wasn't even confident that I could even stand or face any interviewer because I wasn't bold enough. I felt the knowledge that I had wasn't enough. So I'd given up. Then a friend of mine called me, Elizabeth, said, how there is a lady, her name is BME. I was like, Lizzie, I'm done with this training. Like, I've given up. She said, no, let's give it a shot. I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. I now called the BME. I said, when I started asking her some questions and the response she gave me kind of gave me hope. And not only that, she said, oh, I assured you you're going to get a job at the end of this session. I said, okay, if I'm going to get a job, that's what I want to hear. I'm going to put in my spirit, soul, and body and engage fully into the program. So we started, and to be honest, in my previous program, I don't even know what business analysis is. I don't even know anything. I'm just like there. And it seems like a dream come true for me. Reason being that I really wanted to go for business analysis, but I have no knowledge of it. So IBME made simple business analysis as simple as ABC for me. I learned how to use write user stories. And mind you, I'm going for a project management role. As a project manager, I know how to write user story. I know how to use Jira, VCO. I know how to use Confluence. She even taught us how to use Figma. Figma is like the latest, what is actually involved in the UK here. And I was like, all these materials that she's giving to us, like some people will say pay money until you have to pay some certain amounts of money before you can acquire those stuffs. And I was like, wow, this is huge. At some point, she even taught us SQL. I was like, wow, I'm serious. Like the material she gave us and the kind of effort and time she invested in us, I can guarantee you I've not seen any consulting firm in the UK that does that. I'm definitely serious about it. And not only that, they optimized my LinkedIn and they also worked on my CV. And my previous one, I should pay £200 to optimize just my LinkedIn, not even my CV. And she did all of those things for free for me. It was a huge one for me. And not only that, when I enrolled in the program, I chose to learn a lot because I know where I was coming from. So I happened to be the project manager on that team. So the first thing I did, I had to commit to the process. I was dedicating my time, my effort into the project. I ensured that all my teammates were working together, and not only that, I was checking on them, ensuring that all of them are doing perfectly well. And we're able to do that. Then I have to engage my team. To be honest, not only that, the support team as of then that she gave us, they were very insightful. They're very intelligent as well. At some point when we come for presentation, the BME will say, how on your camera? Because when you go for an interview, you're going to stand in front of a panel and you're going to present some stuff. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. So you need to know how to overcome those kind of fears. You need to be bold while talking and all of that. So I started on my camera and ensured that all my teammates were able to do the same as well. And we began to learn. And imagine you come for like a Friday presentation, and because we have a presentation where they taught us how to do report writing, project plan, a lot. I'm serious, there is a lot to be learned. And when we come for those meetings, some of the support analysts were like, you're supposed to get this, you're not supposed to do this. At some point, the way they were scrutinizing us, to be honest, at some point, I was like, is this really a training ground? Because they were so keen, they were so attentive. They keep attention to details, like every detail. Like they can't even miss, even if it's your versioning, they'll say this versioning is wrong. Maybe you tried to make a mistake, they say this is wrong. They were so detailed. I'm serious. And that helped me, and I kept on learning and learning and learning. Not only that, I had to like leverage on those tools that they gave us. I started learning how to do things. So what helped me was that any tool that they taught me, they taught us as a group. I will now call my teammates later on. I'll say, okay, guys, do you know how to use these tools? Some of them will say yes, they will say no. And I was like, okay, let's just come together as a team. Let me just give you like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes quick review on what we were being taught. And that was how almost everybody in my team knows how to write reports. Not only that, they also try as much as they can to like ensure that everybody is actually actively engaged. And how was I able to know that? To be honest, IBME said, Hawa, attend my free workshop session. If you don't like what you are saying, you can actually back out. And when I just joined the interview, the workshop session. Not only that, I referred like 4 of my friends, and they all came together at that point. And when we just attended that workshop session, I knew that that's where I needed to be. And we began to do that, and we began to learn that. And not only that, Innovate did not just give me a certificate or anything, but I had a good network of people there. I made friends that turned to sisters, and even when it comes to job interviews, we were all engaging ourselves. To be honest, even when I started, before even IBME started, she started doing interview prep for us. She would just come for a meeting. Tell me about yourself. And she would just take you unaware. To be honest, she was like, you have to be ready at all the time. She kept on checking, she kept on probing us, engaging us. And it was like, this woman, I was like, how are you coping? You're a family woman, and how do you even balance this? I kept on asking myself, anytime I'm thinking of quitting, I would say, it be a me that has kids, she's having this and she did not quit. Who am I to quit? I would just, to be honest, she exposed us to so many things. And I was consistent, I was confident. And not only that, I ensured that all my teammates were actively engaged as well. So when I started the job hunting, before we even finished the project, I said, let me just take a glance. And Ibiemi mentioned something earlier. I applied for a particular job. I copied everything from ChatGPT and went and said, it's not been up to 5 minutes. They sent me, unfortunately. I knew that I had a long way to learn. And I'll have a long way to go. I mean, then all of a sudden, she started prepping us, showing us what to do, and showing us the right approach, the method to use. And to be honest, I can tell you that that's one of the best decisions I've made so far in the year 2024. And I can guarantee you that today, all my friends, like more than 10 people have gotten interviews. And some of them have gotten jobs, some have gotten 2, 3 interviews. I'm not just making mouth, I'm telling you the gospel truth. And when I even got the job, it's actually 2 civil service job I got. And in short, the other one, they are just disturbing me. You need to accept the offer or you need to turn down. And when I finished, I was like, okay, let me weigh the options. I still went back to UBM because she's like my mentor. I reached out to her. Okay, I have these 2 jobs. Look at the pros and cons. They are all civil service job. I need your advice on this. And she gave me the advice. And actually, what she gave me was what my husband told me as well. And I felt in my spirit that that's actually the job I needed to pick. It takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of hard work. And anybody that tells you that hard work does not pay is a liar. That's the word. Seriously, hard work pays. Sometimes you start the project, some people will not be engaging, but trust me when I tell you that you should keep on doing it. All those things that they taught us on the in the boot camp, I actually saw it in an interview. When I went for my interview, at some point you are sitting with like high class of people, you know, the way they even dressed, the way they're looking at you, you know, and they will just make you feel comfortable, but they're observing your posture. Obiemi taught me how to answer interview questions. Not only that, she has a support team that backed her up. I'm serious. And all those things I learned during my bootcamp were those things that they asked me. I'm not joking. Like all the examples that I did in my project, those were the examples I was giving at the course of my interview. And they were asking me in between questions. And to be honest, if I haven't done those projects, I would have fumbled and I would have failed. The first job were like 20 that we did the interview and they needed only 1 person and I got the job. So anybody that tells you that hard work doesn't pay, I can tell you that you have to put a lot of effort to do that. And Innovate Pad is the best place for you to learn. I'm serious. It's not because I've passed through it, but I'm telling you that she deliver raw values. It's not just about the money, but the things that she's impacting in your life, they are not just ordinary things. You won't really appreciate it, but when you get into the job system, you appreciate, or maybe when you're at the course of having an interview, you realize that all those things that she's been saying for long is actually real. All this video, the next interview I had was a video interview, and I wasn't even really conversant with video interview. It was like, on your video, on your camera, on your camera. And the truth is that some of the questions they will say is an icebreaker question, but they're actually good questions. I was like, oh, this is what BME used to say. She would say icebreaker. I said, what is this icebreaker? And they'll keep on, when I went into that interview, they said, we're going to ask you some icebreaker questions. I said, BME's talk. Like, I always refer back to what she was saying. If you have the opportunity, I will encourage you to join Innovate because I've learned a lot in Innovate. I've met good people, network. I have good connections with people here. As in, I learned a lot. And I'm still learning. Oh. Not only that, do you know that DME will even send some free certification for you to be doing what other companies are collecting money? She does it for free. If she's to collect money, I'm telling you, that money that we're paying for the initial stage is not going to be enough. So please take it serious. And I can encourage you that if God can do it for me, to even have 2 slots, 2 jobs, I mean, in civil service, I know he can do it for you. And this applies to both NHS, whether private sector, or anywhere you want to work. To be honest, I never regretted it. And thank you so much for this opportunity, BME.
Thank you so much, Awa. In fact, this is very amazing to hear. Thank you so much. And thank you for the referrals. Awa keeps referring people to us. So Oge was saying, so that's the way you're scrutinizing us now. When you were saying they were scrutinizing you, Oge was saying, okay, that's why
It's
you're
to become
scrutinizing.
better.
Yeah, okay. So expect more scrutiny from Awa from next week now for your presentations. Blessing says, is it from a non-IT background? Definitely. I think most of the people that join the boot camps don't always have an IT background. You can
Yes.
transition from anything.
I transitioned from care, actually.
Yeah, so you can transition from anything. Thank you so much, Awa, for that amazing story. Okay, so let's just go on to what project management is all about. So many of us hear project management. What is project management? What is project management? What is project management? Okay, so and do you know that I'm a self-taught project manager? I always say it because I'm not a project manager, but because somebody's unmuted, can you mute yourself? I think it's Onye. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm a self-taught project manager because I have not been a project manager. But because of everything I have been able to learn, working in training companies, like I told us before, prior to starting out, I was working for other training companies. And I'm talking about 2,000 students, 3,000 students, helping people, supporting people and pushing them into the job market. And that was a very great learning curve for me. And that's why what I always do is that every of my cohorts, I identify people that are good. That is what I always do. I always identify good people and tell them to come back, okay, and also pour into other people because I learned more by teaching people. That's just the truth. You learn more by teaching people. So I always identify those people, like headhunting people and bringing them back. So that's why our mobile, they are there to also support, the new people. And Elizabeth that Awa mentioned, I think it was Elizabeth that called Awa to join. Elizabeth herself, she had 4 offers. Every time I remember that Elizabeth had 4 offers, I'm always like, how? How is that possible? I always tease her now. I say, office babe, office babe. Every time I see her status, I always tease her office babe. So that is just the beauty of the people that put in the time. These people that I'm talking about that got offers, I promise you, they actually dedicated their time and effort and being consistent. I didn't talk about how much unfortunately that she got. They were unfortunately, but that one success always wipes out all the unfortunately. So that consistency, not giving up. I don't like negative people that that will be saying, "Oh, it's never gonna happen." No, you have to believe. Because even me today, there are some giant strides that I want to take, and I always think, "Is it possible?" But I'm positive about it, and I keep taking small tasks that will help me to get there. So that mindset, we're in a free career workshop today. I know we are here to learn about project management and business analysis. But if you see what I do, mindset, the positivity, I tell you, is even more important than what you want to learn. If we can get that right and you believe that it's possible, first, anything is possible. I'm telling you the truth. And that is my own mantra. Okay, so project management, is the process of planning, organizing, managing resources. Project management is something we do every day. If you're a mother here, you do you do it every day. If you are a father here, you do it every day. The only difference is that as a professional, there are different tools, there are different techniques, there are methodologies, there are things that you do to help you to become that professional in project management. But when it comes to what you are doing every day, planning, budgeting, these are things that you do. All right. So as a project manager, you plan, you organize, you manage your resources to help, make sure that the organization reaches or achieves a specific goal. Now, the next three things I'm going to say is what makes you a good or a bad project manager. Making sure that it is achieved within the time, within the scope, and within the budget. Those three things are what you do as a project manager: scope, budget, and time. And that's what's going to differentiate you between a good project manager and a bad project manager. And one thing about project management is that if you don't like to be out there, if you don't want to be in people's faces, then it's not the right career for you. You have to be a good people person. You have to know how to work with people. You have to know how to organize people. Because as a business analyst, I need to do my task, okay, to help you to achieve your budgets, your projects within scope, time, and budgets. So it's very, very important. So project management is about getting things done efficiently. You might work on a project, they might be building a new app, they might be building a new website, they might even be rolling out a new feature. Sometimes we just work on a small feature and it's a project. So a project manager keeps everyone on track, communicates with stakeholders, handles risk, and ensures that the project delivers value. That is who a good project manager is. So all of the tools and the methodologies that you need, these are things that we teach you in the bootcamp. Okay, and I am not the project manager trainer. We have someone that is a project manager. Okay, so for you to move into project management, you don't need coding. You just need to have a good leadership mindset. No matter the level, no matter the role, even if it's a 25,000 pounds role in the UK or a $35,000 job in the US, that leadership mindset needs to be 100%. Because you are always leading people. You know how you are in a bus and you are the driver? That is you as a project manager. Strategy, problem solving. Because issues are going to arise in your project. But you as a good project manager, you are going to solve those problems for people. Okay, so what are the skills that you need? A lot of us already have these skills. Leadership. So many of us have worked in banks in maybe Africa, or as the case may be. We've worked in banks for years. We've worked in different sectors. We are also you are a master of your trade, but then you find yourself in a new country that expects you to repackage yourself, to realign and to brushing up your skills so that you can fit into the space. So that is what the boot camp helps you to do. So leadership skills, communication, time management, risk management, critical thinking, team collaboration, problem solving, and budgeting. These are some of the key roles that you need as a project manager. That's why all of the reports that Awa mentioned, you will do reports every week. Every week you are doing reports, okay? I know Oge is on this call and she can attest to it because she's currently signed up to the bootcamp. Every week you are doing reports and everybody's on top of you, scrutinizing your reports. So you will do reports every week because that's what you do as a project manager. Okay, so what is business analysis? All right, so this one is very dear to my heart because this one is my baby. It doesn't mean that project management is not my baby, but this is something I do every day of my life. Okay, so business analysis is the practice of identifying business needs. Let me tell you what I do. What I do is I have people who we call stakeholders. They might be my colleagues, they work in the organization, but they are not on my project team. So they are in, say, for example, I work in what company can we use? Say I work in NHS, for example. I have maybe 1,000 colleagues that work in the NHS, okay, but they are not on my projects. And I'm building a system or I'm building a solution for these people because it's been identified that we need to make their process better. We need to make their processes more effective. So they bring us in. Maybe they recruit us newly or they bring us from another project. And I meet with these people. I don't know these people before. We work in the same company, but I don't know them. I don't know what they do. So as a business analyst, I'm on that new project. I'm there to understand the stakeholders. I'm there to see through their eyes. Like, what do you want? Because if you build a solution that does not work for them, there's problem. There's problem. So I'm constantly checking in, constantly hitting, checking in, sending emails. This is what we're doing, letting them know what we're up to. Okay, so business analysis is about understanding the needs and finding solutions to the problem. So it's different to a project manager. The project manager is there to make sure that the project is run successfully. That is why you might have one project manager on a project and you might have 4 business analysts, 5 business analysts. That's why sometimes it feels as though BAs have more job openings in the market. Okay, so we are there to give solutions to problems. And if you don't understand the problem you are giving a solution to, you are wasting your time. So you need to understand the problem. Okay, so as a business analyst, you help an organization to understand what they need, why they need it, and how to make it happen. That's why we use variety of tools. So I mentioned that I gave SQL to business analysts, but a lot of them did not take it seriously. So I'm never giving anybody with SQL for free. If you want to learn SQL, you pay to learn it so that you take it seriously. Okay, because I know that as BAs nowadays, you need to have some data mindset as well. You know, we give Excel for free. We still give Excel for free, but SQL, no, never. You have to pay to learn SQL if you are doing business analysis training. So as a BA, you would also use data because so many times for me to understand the problems very well, especially if I want to understand the problems of people that are external to my organization, that's people like you. You know, you might, if you look at Instagram, for example, Instagram, you are their consumers, whether you like it or not, and they use your data. So as a business analyst, I will look at your data. I will look at the trends. I will look at what you like. I will look at what I will give you that will make you guys happy. I would keep doing it to make sure that I give you what you want. That is the job of the business analyst. So sometimes I just look at customer service data. I just tell the guys at the forefront and say, oh, please, can you export data between 2020 and 2021? And they give me the data and I look at it. That's why I still give Excel for free, because I want my BAs to be able to still look at, imagine looking at 1 million rows of data and you're thinking, what do I do with it? That is where the power of data analysis comes in. Okay, so Caroline says we are not enjoying what our senior colleagues enjoyed. Well, sometimes if you don't pay for things, you don't take it seriously. So let's start with Excel and also perfect it so that, you know, they just throw a data question to you. You are not looking, you're not wondering, because this is 2025. So data is very, very important. Okay, so business analysts, you know, act as a bridge between the business and the technical team, ensuring that the final solution meets the actual business goals. So we are a bridge. I'm already giving us business analysis training, okay? But obviously, these are the things that we teach and more. We always have 3 weeks of live classes and then 3 weeks of live classes for BA and 3 weeks of live classes for PM. And then we move into the live project phase. Okay, so BAs also stand in the gap. You have your technical team, you have so maybe like your developer, your senior tech team and all that. And then you have the people on the side of the business. So you collect the needs, the problems from that business, and you translate it to the development team using your variety of tools and techniques and methodologies. Okay, so Again, no coding, critical thinking is required, communication skills, and a deep understanding of business needs are also required. So what are some of the skills that you need? Analytical thinking, problem solving, communication skills, requirements gathering, process modeling, attention to detail, data analysis, and stakeholder management. If you can perfect these skills, you are good to go as a business analyst. And jobs are coming out every day. Again, don't get tired. Don't get tired. That is one way to win. As long as you don't get tired, you will eventually win in in the tech market. Somebody has unmuted themselves. Okay, so let's move on. We're nearly done. I know we've been here for quite some time, but I don't know, is it making sense or is not making sense? Put it in the chat. Making sense or not making sense? Have we learned one or two things today? So Paul says, what about those that have done BA training, good in writing user stories and process mapping, just need brushing out to stand in interview and landing a job? So what I'll say is that if you have done a training before, we also offer work experience. So in that case, you already have the theoretical knowledge. One thing I know is that so many people say they've done BA training. I don't normally like use what training you've done before, because so many times so many people have joined my training and they have done trainings before, and when they are doing things or talking, I'm like, did they really do training before? So sometimes you think you've done the training, but you might have not gotten what you needed to get from the training. So if you know you have a good standing with the theoretical knowledge, you understand everything, then you need to join the work experience straight up. Okay. Abiodun says the difference is clear. Well, I think she's one of those that have done training before. That's why she said the difference is clear.
Yes, it's Abiodun Williams.
Yeah. Yeah. So Abiodun has confirmed to you. She's done training before and she came to us and we're like, did you really do training before? Anyway, so these are some of the tools that you'd learn. Jira, Excel, PowerPoint, Basecamp, Balsamic, Visio, Lucidchart, Figma, MS Project, Miro, and many more. Trust me, some people join training and they don't know how to set up a Zoom meeting. And no offense, that's why we're here to learn. So you will set up Zoom meetings. You'll be tired of setting up Zoom meetings because you talk and talk and talk and talk in different meetings. So you will learn how to do those things. So some of the roles that you can do, project coordinator roles, project manager roles, program manager, scrum master, portfolio manager, and the list goes on and on and on. Like I always tell people, go for the job description and don't stay bent on the title. You might be losing out if you're focusing only on the title. The job description is where the tea is. So business analyst roles as well. You can start as a junior BA, you can start as a business analyst. Some people even go straight to senior BA roles. People have done it. There's this lady that is currently in our Excel class. She did a training. She didn't do the training with me, but I was the trainer in the company when she did it. I was one that taught her. And that's why she even came back to do the Excel training. She's like, you have a training company, I'm coming there now. She got a senior BA role right after bootcamp. So it's very possible. It's how you package yourself, how you keep learning, how you get sold to the stories. Because interviews are all about telling a story. All about telling a story. And you go for interview, you see the person doing, wow, they are lying, they are lying. You see them with smiles all over their faces. Has anybody ever experienced that before? When you go to an interview and they are just like, they're like, and you're like, yes, I got this job. And then at the end of the day, unfortunately, has anybody ever had that experience before? So let's make sure that we are telling a good story. It is very, very, very important. Please perfect your stories, your star stories. I always tell people, get your phone, record yourself. You are telling a story. Get your wife, get your husband. My husband is always tired of me. If I need to do something, I'll sit him down and I'm practicing. I'm practicing in front of him. That is the only way to get better. Go to the mirror and be saying to yourself, tell me about yourself. And be telling yourself in the mirror. The more you do those things, the more perfect you become. Okay, and don't take anything to heart. You go to an interview, you don't get the job. It takes you one step closer, to actually landing the job. Okay, we're nearly there. Some of the things that we offer you if you join our training, live trainings, we don't do recorded trainings. All right, it's live, but if you miss a session, we would record it. Is always recorded, and you can watch it as much as you want. Okay, in fact, are you going to forget to collect the I'm supposed to remove people from LMS after some time. So many of them, I even forget to remove them. So the point is that you can keep watching the videos as much as you want. We also offer our project management as a 2-in-1. So you pay for project management, you also learn business analysis. I try to make you a T-shaped person. And I always tell my BAs, like, it is more important for you as a BA to learn project management than it is for a project manager to learn BA. The project manager would never need your skills, but you would always need the project management skills. Not going into the detail, but just having an understanding of what project managers do. It would really help you to stand out as a business analyst. Okay, so we also give you practical experience. Our trainings are hands-on training. No fluffing, no textbook. I will give you resources that you can read. We have over 50 resources in our base camp. Like, if you want to sit down with them, you can actually sit down with them and improve yourself. So we'll give you the textbooks, the courses, but that practical element is what a lot of people are missing. Okay, so we also give you access to our LMS, which you can watch all recordings from classes and even have it, post boot camp. Would also improve your CV and your LinkedIn, because you have to build your personal brand. I've seen so many people now posting things on LinkedIn. I don't know if Mobile is still here. Every time I see Mobile post on LinkedIn, I'm like, yes, post more. I want to see more. But it's really good for us to keep putting ourselves there. The more we do it, keep pushing it, keep posting, keep pushing it. You don't know when these things, one successful changes the game, and you immediately forget that you had unfortunately. So it's so important. We also provide you with mentorship, interview prep, and I always want you to form a community amongst yourselves, because Awa and her friends, they've been able to form a good community. They're always doing interview preparations on their own. Like, every time I had an opportunity to join their session, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So this is, getting a community of like-minded people to push you. If one of you gets a job, it means that we can also get the job. So it keeps motivating you, and you have that community for life. Okay, so community access, UK reference and certificate. We will give you work reference. We will give you certificates as required. You can participate from anywhere. We have our students across. We're not limited to any country at all. You also learn all the popular tools and methodologies that you need. And if you get a job, obviously, you can always send a message. Oh, today's my first day. What do you think I should do? What should I say? We have this meeting tomorrow. What should I consider? Those kind of supports, that you need to succeed, because I know that so many people nowadays are losing their jobs. I've been hearing that thing too much nowadays. So we need to make sure we are holding ourselves, supporting ourselves, keep watching YouTube videos, because I've been hearing that just too much about people, Nigerians in particular, getting fired from their jobs because they have presented themselves like this and they are not doing what they said they can do. That is why ongoing learning is what you need. That is just the truth. Ongoing learning. I remember the first day I resumed my job, I watched YouTube videos until I got to the office. I was just watching YouTube videos. What is the first day of a business analyst like? What should I do? These things are so important. So please, I know that every one of us here would never lose our job when we eventually get it, but we have to keep learning and keep improving our skills. Okay, so we also have monthly webinars that we do. And the last one, we had a business analyst come to share about interviewing. And we'll have another one in April. These are normally free. The next one is going to be about civil service. So I think we'll put it out this week. We have someone that's coming to share with us about civil service. So We also, provide assistance. Like if you just need support on, oh, where should I check? I'm always sending people, okay, I saw this job, check this place, check that place. All of these things that can help you to land a job faster, we would also give to you. Okay, so I think I've said this before, but we'll give you Excel and PowerPoint for free. We'll also give you UI UX fundamentals. You learn how to use Figma, you learn how to use Balsamic as well. And like I said earlier on, CV and LinkedIn optimization. Okay, so who should take this course? If you're aspiring to be a project manager, a business analyst, or become an IT professional, if you're interested in enhancing your skill set, if you love collaboration, facilitation, and you just want to be in the right space, if you're currently in healthcare or anything, then you should take this job. And this is just to remind us that project management, business analysis is actually in demand and is literally on the visa sponsorship. This is for UK, and I'm sure it will be the same for US and Canada and other countries because they are in demand. And is at least for now, we know that it's still working. It has not stopped working for now. We don't know what it will look like in 2026, but at least for 2025, people are still looking for roles. Sometimes civil service is looking for like 15 business analysts at once. They're looking for like 30 people at once. So we know that these roles are still there and it is eligible for sponsorship as well. Okay. So again, this is just to reinforce the fact that it is eligible. I know that it's not everyone on the call that is looking for a visa sponsorship. People just literally want to change their lives and get a job that is more deserving. So this is what the schedule looks like. We start with project management and business analysis. And literally as a beginner, you don't have to have any knowledge at all. So 12 live classes. The live classes will last for 6 weeks. Combination of learning the tools, the techniques, the theoretical part of things, every necessary thing that you need to succeed. And, case studies, assignments. We give assignments to. We are very hands-on. If you are ready, then we are ready. We are very hands-on. So we give assignments after each class so that you are learning everything you need to learn before we move into the live project phase. Okay, so just thinks okay, she has muted herself. And also, so once you finish the live classes, you then move into the work experience where you work with a client, we kick off your project, you learn all of the necessary things. I don't want to read everything to us, but then we'll also have interview preparations for people and guidance, where to check, putting people on the spot. Like if you are presenting, you have to turn on your camera. I'm very keen on that because so many of us are not confident. And that's the truth. We're not confident. So we have to squeeze out that confidence so that you can stand in anywhere. Because I've seen that a lot of PMBA interviews now want you to come face to face. So if you can't on your camera online, how will you go face to face? So that's why we do that. And so yes, success only comes to those who take actions, literally. So a lot of us might be thinking, okay, am I ready? What if I'm not ready? What if I fail? What if I don't get the job? I don't know why we like to think the negative part. I don't feel I'm good enough. Imposter syndrome. I can't do it. I can't achieve it. Let's not forget that everyone that is successful today, when they tell us their story, if Facebook, if Mark tells you his story, if Amazon, if Jeff Bezos tells you his story, you will see that there is a lot of, pressing, pushing. Every one of us, we are pushing, we're striving to be better. But you need to take action to come out of your comfort zone. And you need to be coachable as well. Okay. So many of us are not coachable. I'm telling you, so many people are not coachable. They have a lot of ego. So you have to drop your ego at the door and be ready to be coachable, be consistent, and be committed.